there are only a few that are good enough to make it into the NBA in the first place. They have a lot of courage, skill, and determination to get onto the court with the best of the best to play for that lucrative finals championship. We have seen the likes of the greats of the game like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant produce some exemplary moments and skills. But this isn't a video celebrating the best moments. On the other hand, there have been plenty of times when even the best of the best have been left embarrassed and humiliated after having some of the weirdest plays or just frankly being very unlucky. But before we go any further, please make sure to leave a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content in the world of sports and entertainment. Now let's take a look at the NBA players' most embarrassing moments ever. Steph Curry versus the Lakers. Steph Curry has always been one of the best and most talented players that the NBA has ever seen. But even the best can have their off days and bad moments. In a game where Steph was playing for the Golden State Warriors against the Los Angeles Lakers, he saw himself in a very good position. The team was trailing and every point counted. While on the counter, the Lakers managed to lose the ball with all of their players in the attacking half, giving Steph the perfect opportunity to score a couple points for the Warriors. But as he approached the other side, he slipped right before making the basket. To add fuel to the fire, he stole the ball just moments later and missed a simple corner shot by what felt like a country mile. The audience's loud reaction and shock.
Davis sitting out because of injury. Here's Curry off the steal. And look out, Curry slipped. And now shoots for three.
Couldn't have helped motivate him anymore. Easily one of the more forgettable moments in the illustrious career of Steph Curry. James Harden and the Pelicans. James Harden is another phenomenal athlete and professional basketball player, but unfortunately for him, he has lived to see a couple of embarrassing moments as well. In a game in which Harden was playing for the Rockets, Harden was involved in a very goofy moment to say the least. He had the ball with him and was just about to make a three-pointer attempt before getting blocked out by one of the opponents. After getting the ball back, he wanted to go forward, but as he did, the ball went off and the quarter came to an end. In protest to the timing of the whistle being blown, Harden angrily picked up the ball and slammed it on the court. But the ball was having none of that as it bounced off the surface and right back on James Harden's chin. Despite trying to play off the moment as if nothing happened, the cameras were all on him at the given moment and his opponents looked baffled at him as one key player made a funny face after his opponent managed to hit himself in the face.
Josh Hart has to worry about the contact. Hart just lost the bat. And then put it into his own chin as he slammed the ball to the ground. It came up.
There's just something about getting hurt by yourself when you're angry that makes for good comedy. Bradley Beal versus the Rockets. Another player making his way onto the list that no one wants to be associated with is none other than Bradley Beal. This particular moment is pretty popular due to his actions in the NBA game. While players try their best to go all out to win, quite a few, some more than others, play dirty or, to use the word, cheat. As you would see with soccer, diving and overacting is pretty common among many players trying to win a challenge or a foul. But the fast-paced nature of NBA doesn't allow for this to happen too often, but then comes Bradley Beal. In a game against the Houston team when Bradley was playing for the Washington Wizards, he may have gone a little too overboard with his acting. While the opponent tried to dribble away with the ball past Beal, Beal was caught outrageously diving in his face, trying to lure the referee to award him a foul. What followed was a funny time for the trollers who could not get enough of Bradley and his dive.
And Al Horford is applauding the acting.
Wow.
Now known as the infamous Dolphin Drop, Bradley will have to live knowing that he gave the world a laughable and badly acted dive. What was even funny was that the opposition player came at him and sarcastically applauded his efforts after the dive took place, almost as if to say, good acting, mate. Rudy Gobert versus the Golden State Warriors. No matter how skilled you are at this sport, there is going to come a time where another opponent or player is going to make you look like a toddler. And it's fair to say that no self-respecting player who has worked his or her butt off would want to be on the bad side of the deal. Well, this was not the case with Rudy Gobert, playing for the Utah Jazz. Rudy had a very forgettable seconds on the court that made for an unforgettable experience for the fans worldwide. Going one-on-one with one of the best current players on the roster, that is Steph Curry, Gobert was made to look like he never played the sport in his life. As Steph kept dribbling around him and teasing him, the 7-foot-tall player kept waving his hands and turning left and right, looking like a lost child at the supermarket.
NBA.com or visit the NBA app. This is game one, Western Conference semifinals. As Curry does his magic.
The crowd erupted and could not believe what they were seeing. Eventually, Curry got past the big man and made a 360 dunk in one of the sickest moves we ever seen. But one man's skill makes another man's misery, as we saw with Goldberg, who probably didn't watch the highlight package after heading back home. Anthony Davis versus the Clippers. Next on the list is another phenomenal athlete and one of the best players currently on the NBA roster, Anthony Davis, or AD. Currently, AD is playing for the Lakers with the one and only LeBron James, living the life with the greatest players of the sport, but not always rainbows and sunshines, since the American has been on the bad end of some embarrassing moments. Basketball, despite being a very physical and strenuous sport, also has to do with genetics. We see some of the tallest players in the sport, some reaching higher than 7 feet tall. AD himself is 7 feet tall, but in an incident that took place with him while playing with the Clippers, he probably felt way shorter. While playing for the Pelicans, Mirjanovic was seen with the ball until the whistle blew. With this ball in his hand and his hand completely stretched out, AD tried to reach it but couldn't. Mirjanovic stood there mocking a legend as he kept his hand stretched until AD eventually gave up. He laughed in embarrassment and his teammates looked on with a giggle as well.
Because you don't see a steady dive. How about that? That was Harlem Globetrotter-esque.
Out of everything that an NBA player can go through, surely being mocked for not being tall enough to reach the ball is the lowest of the low. While AD probably had a sleepless night, we can only assume that his opponent slept like a baby that night after making one of the best players of all time look like a goof on the court. Damian Lillard versus Orlando Magic. Last but definitely not least in terms of embarrassment is another NBA sensation, Damian Lillard. Though Damian has not been able to win the coveted championship as of yet with the Portland Trail Blazers, he's certainly one of the hottest talents on the roster. Not many people say no to come to play for the LA Lakers, especially after being asked by LeBron James himself, but Damian is just that world-class talent. Despite his talents and skills, he has been involved in a very embarrassing and silly moment on court playing against the Orlando Magic. While he sat in the center of the court with all the top 5 players in front of him waiting for him to attack, he decided to drop the pace. He walked to them while bouncing the ball around and pulling out all showboating tricks in the book. He was marking his dominance on the court and wanted his opposition to fear him. But instead, they got a good laugh as while trying to showboat, the ball caught the side of his shoe and just rolled off court.
With 1.1 left.
His expressions were hilarious, but took it well since he laughed it off and headed back to the side. But the moments where players try to showboat and fail always make for embarrassing and the best moments. We doubt he'll be concerned any longer since he has his millions and is still in the prime of his career. With this, we have reached the end of our list. Now it's time to share your thoughts and opinions. Which moments do you think were the funniest and most embarrassing out of the list? Let us know in the comments section down below. As always, please make sure to leave a big thumbs up on the video and do subscribe to our channel with post notifications on to get more awesome videos surrounding the world of sports and entertainment. That's all from us. We'll catch you on the next one.